Ready? All right, this is Chris Gardner of Houston Roundball View and Jerry Woodley of King Size View on the College Sports Report here at Southwoods High School talking with Cedrick LaFleur. Cedrick, what's going on this weekend?
Well, this weekend we have our NCAA certified girls basketball tournament for high school girls, normally freshman, senior year.
How long have you been doing this particular event?
This particular event, this is the 6th year for this event.
What's the turnout been like thus far?
Well, this year the number of teams we have is 30. That's down a little bit from most years. Some of that we caused. We sent some of our high-level teams to the national tournaments. Deep South, we have two of our top teams in Houston there. Our top team out of two teams out of Alabama, we sent them up to the Boo Williams tournament. And then the Houstonians we sent to Indiana to the Adidas national tournament.
Talk about, I guess, the teams in the CyFair Texans program. How many you have?
Yeah, so this year we have 40 teams, span from Houston all the way to Pensacola, Florida. And our growth and expansion is doing exactly what we wanted it to do, to expand in Texas and then expand outside of Texas. And we picked up additional teams in Louisiana this year, Alabama, and Florida.
Has the NCAA process changed for being certified, putting on events?
Yes, it has, and it's actually they're making it tougher every year. The good thing is because of our program, we're able to keep up with all the rules and guidelines. What they've done is actually for a lot of mom and pop type operations, that's really helped weed those people out, which actually is good for people that this is what we do. And they just put in a lot more guidelines and making it tougher, more cost for a mom and pop to afford to be able to do this.
Talk about the website and what you have going on with CyFair Texans.
All right. Well, the website is CyFairTexans.com, and when you go to that website, you'll see all of our events. You'll see camps that we do. You'll see our scouting ranking report. This year we actually expanded and did a national ranking in addition to the local Texas and Louisiana ranking. Then we also transformed the Houston Prep Report into, the new name is Gulf Coast Prep Report, to reflect that we're not only in Texas now, that we're expanding the entire Gulf Coast. So it's been an exciting year, and July is where we pushed all the teams to for our annual adidas CyFair Classic. So this year we're on track to have about 105 teams.
Who are some of the top players, I guess, in the Houston area or Greater Houston area of the Gulf Coast?
Well, in the Houston area, the 2014 class, meaning the freshmen this year, is just phenomenal. Brooke McCarty is probably the top point guard as a freshman in the state of Texas. She's ranked in the top 5 nationally, but I know last weekend, which was a regular tournament, some of the National Scouting Services was here and got to see her play live for the first time. And I know her ranking next time comes out, she's going to jump up to higher than just that top 5, probably top 3. But Brooke McCarty is one. Dominique Dillingham is another kid. You have a kid out of Crosby, Aaliyah Godfrey. Then you start going to the older kids. Jessica Palmer. Unfortunately, she doesn't play with a great high school team, but her skill set as college coaches just waiting to get her, because I think her best game is going to be when she gets to the next level.
One last thing, I guess, talk about how the level of talent has improved since you've been doing this.
Well, it's amazing, but the girls are getting better. They're coming to us already prepared in 8th and 9th grade. Whereas year before it was, you had only a few girls that were there. But I think that all has to do with the growth and expansion of girls basketball overall. Everybody's starting to prepare and do the fundamentals sooner, so that when they get to the high school level, everybody's now trying to gun in to make that varsity team. Where before it was people were, okay, well, I'll make the JV team, then I'm happy. That's not the norm now. Everybody wants to be on varsity. In the summer season, everybody wants to be on the top team. Now we know just from the numbers that can't happen, but now we're having to be more creative in how we create teams. And instead of having A team, B team, now we're having to have 2 A teams. And so that's great for girls basketball. I mean, if you look at the college level, you're seeing a lot of those Texas kids perform at that level, at the collegiate level. When you look at, you know, obviously Texas A&M has a lot of Texas kids on it, but when you look at, you know, the Stanfords of the world, they have a lot of Texas kids on them. You look at some of the other schools that's traditionally in the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, Oklahoma's. Even as far as this year Notre Dame didn't really have a Texas kid on there, but they've had Texas kids on there in their program. So it's been great for Texas girls basketball. And you know, one of the things I'll say on that is college coaches want to come to Houston. Some of them were kind of disappointed that we were sending our teams out nationally because they want to come to Houston. They said, well, why don't you guys keep your teams here? But we're going to do that in July because that's really the big time when everyone's going to be out. So our philosophy is send those high-level teams out to the national events and create that draw and then get them back here in Texas. And when you look at Texas in July, from the 5th of July through the 10th of July, that's the major Texas events. There's 2 big ones in Dallas, and then we finish it out the 8th through the 10th here in Houston.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I want to thank you guys for coming out. We're going to have a good weekend of high school basketball. There's a couple of teams from Louisiana that are just phenomenal. I mean, the talent on that team, and they are all freshmen. And Louisiana Lady Hornets and DNR Lady Blue Devils are phenomenal teams. I saw them for the first time last week. Louisiana Lady Hornets are part of our CyFair Texans organization, but I got to physically see them play last week, and I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing them this weekend, as well as some of the other young talents here. This is great.
Thank you very much, Cedrick.
One last question. Your next event and your website.
The website is CyFairTexans.com, and the next event is going to be July 8th through the 10th, and that's going to be the adidas CyFair Classic. That event we're expecting about 105 teams, and you're going to have teams from all over the country converging on the CyFair area, which is great for the economy, it's great for girls basketball, and the college coaches are going to be here in droves.
And let me ask this in case people who are watching this want to know, can fans come to that event in July?
Oh, absolutely. We're definitely open for fans. The more fans, the better. And a lot of the funds for our program goes right back out to our kids in form of, I'm on the board of directors for adidas grassroots basketball in the U.S., and we sponsor girls teams, and we help provide them with uniforms, with all their gear, so that they can spend their money to get to tournaments and all this type of stuff. So that's what we do this for, and that's why you get to see more and more teams from outside of Texas come to Texas for this.
And where will the July event take place?
The event is going to be in the Cypress Fairbanks schools, and just like to say, we're at Cypressville High School. We'll probably be using Woods again, and we'll have, at 105 teams, we'll be using about 4 of the local schools, and that's because the facilities are so great. Air-conditioned buildings, really new floors, great parking, and it's going to be some great girls basketball.
Thanks very much.